The first iteration of the Rise of Kingdoms Strife event is coming to an end, and as a caster, it has been a great event to watch. From having the energy of a Kingsland opening to the strategy of an Osiris League, the Supreme Strife event really does have the potential to be a great game mode for everyone to play once some tweaks and adjustments are made. There's a mix of teams in the first Supreme Strife final, ranging from kingdom-based teams such as 60GT from 1960, to teams with a mix of players from different parts of Rise of Kingdoms, such as Pink. Pink has been a surprise throughout the Supreme Strife, with their team composing of players scattered around Rise of Kingdoms, but somehow, someway, they've banded together and rallied their way to the finals. The most impressive victory being in the semifinals against GV77, a powerhouse team in their own right. But Pink was able to hold off their attack and outbuild them on their way to the Supreme Circle. So how did this team come to be? What made them so successful? Who is Pink? Those are the questions that are going to be answered today with our guest and leader of Pink, and also good friend of the channel, Grayworm. Hey Gray, thank you so much for making the time for the interview. So let's give a little bit of an introduction about yourself. How did you start playing Rise of Kingdoms?
Yeah, so I started playing Rock 6 to 7 years ago. I made my way into like A-Seed KVKs, A-Seed Kingdoms before retiring for a year. And then I came back and now I'm with 3371.
So let's do an introduction to Pink. How did you start Pink?
Originally, it wasn't my plan. It was actually my king's plan, Clo. Realistically, I feel like a lot of these kingdoms kind of got in touch with one another about Strife, and this happened for the Pioneer event. So we have 5 kingdoms within our pact to start off. We have 2643, 2650, 2654, 3074, and then us, 3371. It all started off just to get the rewards, you know? We weren't planning to do too much with it. We never had really high expectations. I quickly took over as kind of more so the lead, like the frontman lead. We still have amazing R4s and other co-R5s within this pact member. So essentially it's just a lot of kingdom leaderships from these 5 kingdoms.
Where are your players from in Pink?
So we have a majority base, I would say, in 2654. We have a few players from my kingdom, quite a few from 3074. We have a few from 2643, which is like Duke of Chen, Earl of Chen, and then we have quite a few from 2650, which is in itself just a really good A-Seed kingdom. I mean, all of us are A-Seed kingdoms. All of us are fighting kingdoms, and so us 5 kingdoms are very close, very tight-knit, and very close friends, and just want to have a lot of fun and a lot of fights.
How did you recruit so many players?
We mainly recruited our wills within each kingdom. We filled out the first, I believe, 45 pretty easily, and then after that we chose based on players we know. If you want to look in like rank 2 and rank 1, those are the players that we recruited along the way that weren't originally in Pink. So we have accounts like Baba TC, other players like Brute Squad, Skinsy, the fellow YouTuber, Angus, and a lot of other big players like Warvix. We've recruited along the way, but mainly we always got reached out to, which was really good. But also I reached out to a lot of people. Like my PMs have probably been full of either reaching out to people or else hundreds of players reaching out to me, which is really amazing because it just shows that Pink is getting a little bit recognition. And so as that happened, we started taking it more and more seriously.
How does your team prepare for Supreme Strife?
This might be a little controversial. We don't really prepare too much. I come up with plans and we just execute them. Like, to elaborate on that, like very early rounds, we just came up with plans and just said, follow this marker, and we just go very reactively. And then the semifinals came, and that's when we shifted entirely to become more planned based. but also trust our reactive measures.
Talked about the semifinal. You had a pretty crazy semifinal is during the Rise of Kingdoms event in Amsterdam, and you're leading it from the event on your iPad. How did your team beat GV77 and make finals?
I mean, the first major thing that I want to say is that I think either 2377 just didn't come to really prepare themselves to fight, whether that was due to Diplo, which was quite a little bit controversial. I won't get into that too much, but for 2377, they felt it was a little bit controversial than it actually was. Or else if they thought that their power was just to push us over. I don't really know what happened on their end of things, but on our side, we used our strength, which was very good communication, very good pre-planning, which we utilized for the first, I would say for the first time. And we had players just doing their roles and focusing on what they need to do. And I think that put us in a really good position to take the circle and defend it against GV.
What is the Diplo for the finals?
It is a free-for-all, a complete free-for-all. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't really want to say too much, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We want a very fun fight and we want to enjoy the finals. I think there's a lot of really interesting matchups, and it's going to be interesting on how each pact goes into this final and how they kind of plan for it, because technically there's no allies. So who goes where, who focuses where? It's going to be fun to see, you know?
What are your team's goals for the finals?
To have fun. I mean, the best case scenario would be I want to be in the top 3, but we don't know how it's going to play out. So I told everyone that we have no expectations this finals. We went above and beyond what we already did, and this finals is kind of just like, just go out there, do what we're going to ask you guys to do, and let's just see what happens. It's going to be fun. We shouldn't beat ourselves up for, you know, not winning or not becoming top 3. It's very pointless. We're gonna have more Strife events. We're gonna recruit bigger and bigger players, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. But we definitely should just fight, because this is an event that we want to just zero ourselves at, because we get the troops back.
Any tips for anyone who is trying to replicate Pink's success of making a team?
In terms of Strife, I think it's like any other event in Rock. You have to learn from the past and you have to develop yourself. I really don't think that power, in a sense, is everything. Of course, for a long-term battle, it's very important, but I think that there's a lot of things that come into play. Like, I want to say, very early on into Strife, Diplo was all that matters. Don't get caught up into power. Just go out there and have the most fun and try to develop a plan that works best for your team. Don't try to overcomplicate things. Try to do small goals, and that will lead into a very good success within the match.
And that is it for the interview. Thank you again to Gray for coming through and spending time with us and answering our questions. Who do you guys think will win the Supreme Final? Let us know in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.